voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make straight in the desert a highway for God. Every valley shall be exalted, shall be exalted, shall be exalted, shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill below. The crooked straight, and the rough places plain.
In every city, every town, every village, a student dreams of success. A parent hopes, a teacher prepares. This is not just another program. This is the key to unlocking potential. Welcome to Learning R, an inspiring journey through English language and mathematics, designed for WASC candidates across Sierra Leone. Join us on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation television. Expert teaching, focused lessons, real preparation. No distractions, no excuses, just learning. Because when we learn, we grow. When we grow, we rise. Learning Hour. Powering your future.
Good morning and welcome to News Hour, coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation on Channel 31. I am Esther Susanette Bassi. Coming up, grave robbery increases at Wellington Palmer State Cemetery. NRA's excise unit embarks on a nationwide tax stamp monitoring exercise. And APC's presidential flag bearer aspirant Al-Hassan Beshekanu promises to recover Sierra Leone's debts from the UK if he becomes president. Well, these stories and more, including a segment, are all lined up in this edition. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and now for our first story. The Wellington Palmer State Cemetery, one of the oldest and largest cemeteries in Freetown, is under threat as individuals continue to dig up graves in search of iron rods and other valuables buried with the dead. The ongoing desecration has sparked outrage among residents and community leaders who are calling for urgent intervention. Aminata Bangura has more.
Located in the east part of Freetown, the Wellington Palmer Street Cemetery is said to be one of the oldest and largest cemeteries in the city. Despite its vastness and age, the cemetery is partially unfenced and is commonly used as a footpath by the people in the area. The current state of the cemetery has exposed the final resting place of humans, a hub for criminal activities, especially by young men in the community, commonly referred to as kush boys, a term used to describe drug addicts. Councillor Lucky Mansare confirmed that the perpetrators, who are mostly youths into drugs, usually use the night to dig up graves in search of iron rods and anything they believe is of value.
At night, the Kush boys will dig up graves in search of iron rods and anything they believe is of value. This is happening because the cemetery is not completely fenced and the workers responsible for the cemetery only operate during the day. We are appealing to the government to complete the cemetery fence and assign security personnel so that the gates can be locked at night.
Pastor Samuel Cabo, a community elder, described the situation as heartbreaking, adding that the perpetrators embark on such an activity when they don't have money for drugs.
But we were there alive. We hang out tomorrow. If we die tomorrow, we will say that the same thing will happen with we.
For those of us still alive, we are afraid that the same thing will be done to us when we die. Even my daughter, who just passed away, I am afraid to bury her here because the place is not secure.
I don't begin hang out already.
Woody Kanu, who is the cemetery keeper, expresses frustration over the situation, especially when people cast blames on them for such ugly occurrence and also when they are being accused of the digging of the graves.
Would appeal to government, council.
The cemetery is not completely fenced and we don't know who enters or leaves during the night. We are appealing to government and other relevant bodies to support our efforts so that we are not wrongly blamed for digging up graves and also help us with new equipment.
Residents and local authorities are, however, calling on the government to step in immediately, complete the cemetery fence and improve security in and around the cemetery to protect the dignity of the dead and restore peace to the community. SLBC News, Aminata Bangura reporting.
The Speaker of Parliament has launched the book titled Framework for Economic Diplomacy and Bilateral Growth, Lessons from Ghana and 4 Journals, authored by Ambassador Dr. Frances Virginia Anderson, Sierra Leone's ambassador to Turkey. In the book, the author, Ambassador Dr. Anderson, explores how a structural framework for economic diplomacy can directly support bilateral growth, drawing her lessons from experience from Ghana as ambassador, where she established the first ever economic desk to explore opportunities and attract investment, among others. Ibrahim Samura reports.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby officially unveil this book.
Dr. Anderson's work transcends the traditional boundaries of diplomatic engagement and challenges policymakers to reimagine how economic diplomacy can and must serve as a fundamental pillar of national development. The book and 4 journals provide more than a theory. It offers a strategic framework grounded in experience, practice, and real-world application. Drawn from Ghana's case study, Dr. Anderson illustrates how economic desk in diplomatic missions can serve as a frontline agent for development, challenging policymakers, legislators, and diplomats to structure their internal engagement around clear economic objectives that align to the country's national development. According to the author, Ambassador Dr. Frances Virginia Anderson, the book shows the importance of political will and interagency coordination in ensuring that economic diplomacy delivers results and critically evaluates ECOWAS as it marked its 50th anniversary, offering a candid diplomatic assessment of its achievements, its structural limitations, and political and economic dynamics that continue to shape its role in regional integration.
Another publication highlights a forward-looking theme, developing AI leadership capacity in Africa. Africa cannot afford to be a passive observer as the world embraces artificial intelligence. This work proposes concrete strategies for building the next generation of African leaders in AI through education, targeted training, and inclusive mentorship programs. In the global digital revolution, we must be creators and innovators, and not just consumers.
Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Sengepo Thomas, said Dr. Andansi's book was an urgent call for capacity building and institutional strengthening, highlighting the need for well-sourced missions abroad.
As the Speaker of the Parliament of Sierra Leone, I have come to understand that the future prosperity of our country depends not only on internal policy reforms, but on how effectively we engage the outside world through robust, targeted, and strategic economic diplomacy. A significant contribution of this publication lies in its pragmatic analysis of Ghana's experiences. They are imperatives.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Timothy Kaba described Dr. Andansi's work as an eye-opener for policymakers that traditional diplomacy was not solely about political dialogue, noting it has shifted to competitive economic and technological advancements. He promised to adopt the recommendations outlined by the author in his ministry strategic document. The book highlighted how economic diplomacy intersects with a range of national interests, from trade and foreign direct investments to environmental sustainability, defense cooperation, and treaty negotiations. Ibrahim Samura, Freetown.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Timothy Kaba, has said Sierra Leone views the transformative initiative of His Majesty King Mohammed VI with great optimism and wished to collaborate in the shared goal for a prosperous and globally engaged African continent. Minister Kaba was speaking at a reception held to celebrate Throne Day and the 26th anniversary of His Majesty King Mohammed VI of the Kingdom of Morocco's ascension to the throne. Dennis Fraser has more.
And cordial relationship between the Kingdom of Morocco and the Republic of Sierra Leone.
According to the Moroccan ambassador to Sierra Leone, Khalid Alcassas, in the spirit of solidarity, the two nations have enjoyed decades of progressive integration. He said the historical ties between Sierra Leone and Morocco resonated with their continuous development across various domains. He added that the progress resulted from deep-rooted ties and joint commitment to closer cooperation, supporting common interests and enhancing regional security and stability.
It's not just about celebrating his years as king, but also the big changes and progress Morocco has made under his leadership. Since 1999, His Majesty has led Morocco through a period of reform, development, and strong African cooperation.
On his part, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Timothy Kaba, thanked Ambassador Khalid Alcassas and the people of the Kingdom of Morocco for the consistent dedication to supporting and strengthening bilateral ties. He noted that the event supports common interests, aid progress and prosperity for both countries and their people.
His Majesty's vision to position Morocco as a continental hub for sport, culture and innovation both timely and commendable. These efforts contribute meaningfully to youth empowerment, social development, and the promotion of an African identity and solidarity. The Kingdom Kingdom of Morocco and the Republic of Sierra Leone continue to flourish, will continue to flourish. Our two nations share a deep commitment to fostering cooperation in various fields, including trade, education, agriculture, and cultural exchange.
The cordial relationship is also expected to transcend into engineering and modern tech solutions, including artificial intelligence and green technology powered by the Moroccan economy. SLBC, Dennis Fraser reporting.
In an effort to protect consumers and ensure safer markets, the National Consumer Protection Commission has waged war against expired products in the country. The Commission, in collaboration with Consumer Watch Sierra Leone Limited, destroyed a large quantity of expired goods in the local community. Aminata Bangura tells us more.
The items, which included expired food, provisions, and beverages, were confiscated from various shops and supermarkets during recent inspection exercises. According to the Commission, these products were deemed substandard, expired, and unfit for human consumption. The expired goods were publicly burnt to ensure they do not re-enter the market. This act serves as a strong warning to business owners who continue to sell expired or poorly labeled products to the public and consumers. Head of Consumer Relations at the NCPC, Bernadette Ballet-Fuller, said the destroyed products were identified by inspectors as expired and unfit for consumption. She stated that the Commission is mandated to monitor the consumer markets daily to ensure quality and safe products are available to the public.
Shop owners found with expired goods are normally fined. Sometimes we issue compliance notice for first-time offenders, and then they will be fined if they continue doing such practices. Also, we do public shaming and public warning, or court actions will be taken against them. We are also advising the business community to always check their stock. They should ensure that they take proper record of stocks. Also, we are here with some products that are not even expired, but they are deteriorated due to poor handling and storage facilities.
Samuel Pratt, communication supervisor at the NCPC, said the Commission is working with the Sierra Leone Standard Bureau, which provides data on expired products and timelines for action. He added that inspectors were instructed to raise alarms on products without expired dates, which may have been intentionally removed. Mr. Pratt advised consumers to always check expired dates before making purchases and report any issues to the Commission. He also warned business owners against selling expired goods, noting that such actions can lead to serious health risks. Founder and CEO of Consumer Watch SL Limited, Sonny Rogers, said the organization is a voluntary body that complements the work of the NCPC. He said Consumer Watch acts as a whistleblower, reporting violations of the Consumer Protection Act for swift action.
Whenever we collaborate with them when it comes to matter of expiration and other destructive areas of products, you understand? We go with them to ensure that things work the way it should work. You understand? Because we are the middle manpower between the citizens and the government.
The NCPC has pledged to continue its nationwide inspection exercises to ensure consumer safety across Sierra Leone. For SLBC News, Aminata Bangura reporting.
Presidential flag bearer aspirant for the All People's Congress, Al-Hassan Beshekanu, has said that one of his main focus if he becomes the flag bearer and eventually emerge as president of the state was to bring to the table the debts the United Kingdom owes Sierra Leone. He made this disclosure during a sit and talk meeting with the press. Abdul Mansaye reports.
The event attracted a diverse audience, including a host of media practitioners, party members, community leaders, and youth representatives, all engaged in a meaningful dialogue about the future of Sierra Leone. The sip and talk format, designed to encourage open conversation, in a relaxed atmosphere, allowed attendees to connect with Kanu on a personal level. As guests enjoyed refreshments, they were invited to share their thoughts and concerns regarding national issues and a direction of the APC under new leadership. Flag bearer aspirant of APC, Alhassan Slbc Kanu, said he is coming as a servant leader and not a politician who exploits the nation, adding that he will be intentional in developing the country. Alhassan Slbc Kanu noted that former leaders have built on the poor foundation laid by their colonial masters, which he is coming to change such a narrative.
People in the United Kingdom did to Sierra Leone. Our foundation of Sierra Leone is dilapidated. They left here in 1961 and we get independent and we built on top of dilapidated foundation. So we may blame Adabio, we may blame Anes, Kabay and all this government. Majority of the problem we face here is not their fault. It's a fault of the white men that left us here in 1961 after we gained independence, after they've governed us since 1808. For 153 years, we were governed by the British people and left us dilapidated country.
Alhassan Slbc Kanu emphasized the need for inclusion, unity, economic reform, and youth empowerment. The aspirant also highlighted other key areas he intends to focus on if elected, including job creation, education reform, healthcare improvements, and infrastructure development, among others. SLBC News, Abdul Mansari reporting.
The world is presently observing the Breastfeeding Week, August 1st to 7th. The annual event aims to promote breastfeeding as a foundation for lifelong health and development. At the Princess Christian Maternity Hospital, the Children's Advocacy Forum has handed over a workplace lactation room for the benefit of lactating nurses. The facility is also intended to promote exclusive breastfeeding habits and an effective working environment for nurses of childbearing age. Soy Kamara picks up the story.
I want to officially hand over or open this particular project space for our children and women of this country.
The workplace lactation room at the Princess Christian Maternity Hospital, PCMH, is a component of the workplace lactation program led by the Children's Advocacy Forum, CAF Sierra Leone.
This space can cater for 10 kids as a start. The age bracket is 0 to 6 months to promote effective breastfeeding.
The project aims to contribute in closing the gender nutrition gap in the country and provide female workers with support mechanisms that will protect their health, especially when they are performing official duties and childcare roles side by side.
There are some institutions that really prohibit female workers to be coming with their children and be breastfeeding them at work. So we want to change that narrative. And this has really contributed to the mindset of the stakeholders, and they see it as an initiative that is very, very welcoming, and it will create an impact for female workers to be more effective within the workforce, and at the same time, they can be more, relaxed at job,
The senior matron at the PCMH, Christiana Square, welcomed the facility, saying they had been looking forward to this day when nurses would no longer have to leave their babies at home. Ostina Gamo, a breastfeeding mother, also expressed her appreciation for the breastfeeding room.
We have nurses here who are breastfeeding, and at the end of the day, they come for work and leave their babies at home. They do not do the work perfectly because their minds are at home, thinking of their babies and thinking of the work they are doing here.
They train them, they will get looking at us, and they can't let us work. So I feel so excited, I feel so
Dr. Isata Mahoy commended CAF Sierra Leone for the facility, which she described as a milestone in the country's commitment to creating gender-responsive spaces where women can thrive professionally and emotionally.
The availability of dignified, functional lactating spaces is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Now that make governments don't do so much that now all the government, the regional hospital that we get now, we get decided so we careful with giving them. Then kind of spaces there has to be very much available. About 6 of them now in the country.
As the world observes Breastfeeding Week, the executive director of CAF Sierra Leone underscored the essence of exclusive breastfeeding to the healthy development of the child. Abdul Suarez said that his organization is also pushing for several reforms, including an extended paid leave for breastfeeding mothers.
When we talk about exclusive breastfeeding, it is 6 months. From birth to 6 months, wherein we only give the breast milk. Now, Bobby, what's normal that you should give to the child? We not for mix out any other thing. That's what we mean by exclusive, and it's supposed to last for 6 good months. And after the 6 months, then comes in the complementary food.
The program is set to be implemented at other health facilities, local markets, and banks, among others. Suri Kamara, SLBC News, Freetown.
All you need for do, wake early morning, prepare your pikin, and program, bring and come. You the go left and at the center. Yes.
Well, now on the SLBC, but this time it is on a sad note. It is with heavy hearts and deep sorrow that we mourn the passing of our dear colleague, friend, and sister, Hawa Mose, Senior State House Correspondent at the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, who departed this life in the early hours of August 2nd, 2025. Hawa served the national broadcaster with unwavering dedication for over 2 decades, first at SLBS and later at SLBC, leaving behind a legacy of professionalism, integrity, and loyalty. As a journalist, she carried the voice of the nation into the corridors of power with grace and courage. As a colleague, she was the very definition of a team player, always supportive, always dependable, and always ready to share her knowledge and experience with others. Her commitment to public service broadcasting was impressive, from covering presidential assignments to reporting on matters of national interest. Hawa brought clarity and credibility to her work. She represented SLBC and Sierra Leone with dignity, and her presence at State House was not just respected, but valued. We are deeply saddened by this loss. Hawa was more than a journalist, she was a family. Her warmth, humility, and quiet strength touched us all. In every newsroom meeting, field reports, or late-night production deadline, she showed what it meant to serve with heart. Our thoughts and prayers are with Hawa's family during this incredibly difficult time. We extend our deepest condolences to them and to the entire SLBC family, who today mourn not just a colleague, but a shining light extinguished far too soon. May her soul rest in perfect peace, and may her legacy continue to inspire those of us she leaves behind. Now, Statistics Sierra Leone with the Ministry of Information and Civic Education has concluded a 2-day message development and communication strategy finalization session in preparation for the 2026 Population and Housing Census. The session focused on finalizing the draft, communication and publicity strategy for the 2026 census, developing inclusive and targeted messages for all segments of the population, creating the official theme and slogan for the census, and finalizing and adopting a logo that reflects the central theme of inclusivity. Director of the National Statistical Systems Division, Stat Sierra Leone, Francis Tommy, said the success of the 2026 census would not be dependent only on technical excellence and logistical coordination, but equally on the public's understanding, trust, and willingness to participate. He described the gathering as a crucial step in refining a communication strategy that would ensure no one was left behind. He admonished participants to contribute their full expertise, creativity, and cultural insights. Minister of Information and Civic Education, Kenema, also addressed the gathering, underlining the complexity and importance of the task ahead. He said every sector has a crucial role to play to ensure that the message about the census reaches every corner of the country. Minister Ba noted the communication must be clear, culturally sensitive, and inclusive, dismiss misconceptions, address concerns, and inspire participation. The 2-day meeting brought together leading communication and media professionals from key institutions in Sierra Leone. The Transnational Organized Crime Unit, together with other members of the security sector, including the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and the police, has carried out the second destruction exercise in 2025 of narcotic drugs at the Togo headquarters at Hastings. The destruction involved tons of pellets of cocaine, marijuana, kush, and tramadol. Sui Kamala reports.
Even on a rainy day, the weather could not have prevented the Transnational Organized Crime Unit, TOCU, and its partners from setting alight these dangerous drugs or substances. Desperate times, indeed, deserve desperate measures. The head of TOCU, Chief Superintendent of Police, Muhammad K. Aliu, said these were drugs seized at various locations across the country and that the culprits, some of whom are either facing serious charges in courts or are waiting to be prosecuted for dealing or being in possession of banned drugs or substances.
These drugs were arrested together with the Sierra Leone police here in Freetown. Some were arrested along our highways. One, the Cambria police checkpoint. One, Fala police checkpoint, that is along the Freetown highway. Some were arrested very close to Kenema, a designated police checkpoint now that has been moved from Bandana to Wandama village. And some were even arrested at the Kenema Sierra Leone border immigration checkpoints. The suspects now standing trial are considered to be accused persons. They are standing trial both in the magistrate court and the High Court of Sierra Leone.
This is the second public burning of narcotic drugs or contraband goods in 2025 that were confiscated from individuals that were trying to sneak them into the country. They included pellets of cocaine, packs of cannabis sativa or marijuana, cartons of tramadol and wraps of kush. They also comprise expired free healthcare drugs. The destruction at the TOCU headquarters at Hastings, Western Area Rural Districts, brought together the Office of National Security, ONS, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Police, Pharmacy Board of Sierra Leone, and the National Public Health Agency, as well as the judiciary. The authorities emphasized the urgent need to sustain the fight against drug and substance abuse in order to safeguard public health, public security, and the integrity of the country. While it may take time, extra efforts, and collaboration to rid Sierra Leone of the prevailing drug crisis, measures like this can go a long way in curbing the menace. Sui Kamara, SLBC News, Freetown.
The National Cybersecurity and Coordination Center has concluded a stakeholders workshop aimed at advancing the country's cybersecurity infrastructure. The event, held at the Freetown City Council, was part of Sierra Leone's broader transformation project. Aminata Fofana reports.
The workshop focused on building capacity and enhancing knowledge to tackle escalating cybersecurity threats, particularly those affecting the financial sector. A recent survey conducted by NC3 with support from the World Bank revealed that many cybersecurity roles within institutions remain undefined and are often delegated to IT staff. Alarmingly, existing training and certifications lack alignment with international standards. Director of Ecosystem and Capacity Building Development NC3 Victor Sisse highlighted the crucial role digital evolution plays in modernizing sectors, especially banking. However, he expressed concern over persistent threats such as hacking and digital fraud. Despite frameworks like the Cybersecurity and Crime Act 2021 and the National Cybersecurity Strategy 2021-2025, Sisse stressed the need for embedding cybersecurity training across both public and private institutions.
For now,
We actually do have the expertise to make sure that we have law and order in the country, to make sure there are no riots. But then things have changed. Because now we see that the thieves are no longer moving out at night, but rather they are moving during the day to cause a whole lot of other problems, bringing people to riots just through the use of their phones. We want to do our jobs, but we don't have the skill set, we don't know how to do it, because it's no longer physical, it's moved beyond that point. The military has
Project Coordinator at Project Network Solutions, Desmond McFoy, emphasized the importance of introducing cybersecurity topics into school curriculums. He argued that early education is key to equipping the next generation with the skills to address digital threats proactively.
What he's doing is to put together this framework, get the support that is required from government, get the funding which is required, and then it's going to be pushed right through, not only in the public sector, right through between the public and the private sectors. These will be new jobs coming in. And with these new jobs coming in, which means people have to learn. You have to be well equipped. You have to be up to the pace so that you can be able to fill in these jobs. It will come to a time very soon that there are certain cybersecurity roles. If you don't have the qualification, you cannot be recruited to it.
The session attracted representatives from the banking sector and other key stakeholders, all of whom echoed the urgency of creating robust cybersecurity mechanisms to safeguard institutions and national assets. Slbc News, Aminata Fofana.
While you are watching news coming to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, we continue with more stories. The Resilient Urban Sierra Leone project, implemented by governments and its development partners, has started a review of the Western Area Urban and Rural District Structure Plans. The venture was undertaken to ensure effective urban management, disaster preparedness, and inclusive service delivery. Jonathan Turner tells us more.
The session brought together city planners, government officials, civil society groups, and urban development experts, all united with one goal: building a smarter, safer, and more resilient Sierra Leone. It was aimed to address challenges like uncontrolled expansion, waste management, inadequate housing, poor drainage, and weak disaster response systems. According to the project's manager, Anthony Kouma, the platform was crucial for critical stakeholders to reflect on the reports, identify gaps, and explore solutions that could strengthen urban governance, emergency preparedness, and infrastructure development.
Amongst others, includes the preparation of planning frameworks for better management of built environment. It is in that context that the Western Area Regional Structure Plan is being prepared. This workshop provides a comprehensive opportunity to look at the current state of the reports that have been produced.
Mayor of Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, outlined the importance of the structure plans, noting that they provide both three-dimensional and qualitative context for future growth.
That many properties are inaccessible and they're dangerous to move into, means waterways are blocked, and when there is heavy rainfall, the water finds its way. So being able to move beyond talking about planning to seeing a project which has as part of its mandate not only worked on the development of the structure plans, but also on changing legislation to ensure that not just a plan is made, but the planning function.
Various stakeholders described the documents as comprehensive and transformative. Many expressed confidence that the recommendations laid out in the reports would inform future planning policies, especially for secondary cities also undergoing similar structural planning efforts. For SLBC News, Jonathan Turner reporting.
It's now time for our segments, beginning with the international news. This is the international news with me, Esther Suzanette Bassi. A group of some 600 retired Israeli security officials, including former heads of intelligence agencies, have written to U.S. President Donald Trump to pressure Israel to immediately end the war in Gaza. The possibility of a new escalation in Gaza may further anger Israelis' allies, which have been pushing for an immediate ceasefire, as reports of Palestinians dying from starvation or malnutrition cause shock around the world. Israel has faced growing international isolation as the widespread destruction in Gaza and the suffering of Palestinians spark outrage. Polls around the world suggest that public opinion is increasingly negative about Israel, which is putting pressure on Western leaders to act. Officials have said that 9 people, including an Irish missionary and a 3-year-old child, were kidnapped from an orphanage near Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, on Sunday. According to Mayor Marcelon Jean, the facilities director, Jenna Herati, was among those taken from the privately run St. Helen Orphanage in Kenskoff during the early hours of the morning. 7 employees and a child were also taken from the orphanage, which cares for more than 240 children, some with disabilities. Haiti's police, along with its Kenyan police allies and foreign contractors using weaponized drones, have repeatedly sought to dislodge the gangs from their positions and bases, but have not succeeded in pushing them back. A white South African worker accused of killing 2 black women says he was forced to feed their bodies to pigs, according to lawyers. Adrian Duet is one of 3 men facing murder charges after Maria Mahato, 45, and Lucia Dolovu, 34, were killed while allegedly looking for food on a farm Polokwane in South Africa's northern Limpopo province last year. Their bodies were then alleged to have been given to pigs in an apparent attempt to dispose of the evidence. Mr. Duet, a supervisor on the farm, will testify that he was under duress when he was forced to throw their bodies into the pig enclosure. If the court accepts his testimony, all charges against him will be dropped. The case has sparked outrage across South Africa, exacerbating racial tensions in the country. At least 68 migrants have died after a boat with about 157 people on board sank off the coast of Yemen in bad weather. The Yemen chief for the International Organization for Migration, IOM, said the vessel capsized off Yemen's southern province of Abiyan on Sunday. 12 people had been rescued, but dozens were unaccounted for. Most of the victims are believed Ethiopian nationals. Yemen is a major pathway for migrants from the Horn of Africa traveling to Gulf states in search of work. The IOM estimates that hundreds have died or gone missing in shipwrecks in recent months. In the last decade, the IOM's Missing Migrants project recorded more than 3,400 deaths and missing people along the routes. 1,400 of those deaths were due to drowning. Yemen remains engulfed in a devastating civil war, which has lasted more than a decade. Well, that's all for the international news with me, Esther Suzanette Bassi. Thanks for watching. Continue to stay glued. Well, away from there, let's join our entertainment desk.
Hello and welcome to your exciting entertainment news with me, Abdul Mansari. But today's edition of entertainment news is a sad one, as we have Kekura S. Fofana, a film director in Kenema, who appeals to the public for support for his $11,000 surgery. Kekura S. Fofana, otherwise known as Director SK, is a proficient film director in Kenema district. His relentless effort and dedication has contributed a lot to the development of Sierra Leone film industry. Today, he is battling for his life with a serious spine issue. He is desperately calling on all Sierra Leoneans, home and abroad, whether filmmaker or not, to help him do his surgery in India.
Of recently, 2 or 3 days back, I don't make you find it very difficult for breathe. I'm unable to breathe fully, and that they choke me. So please, I beg the world, let it help me for God. And all organizations that across the world, Sierra Leone, home and abroad, anybody will come across this video, dear, may help me. Please, for the sake of God, dear.
Mr. Kekura has been actively involved in producing classic movies for the country. Among them was Poor Boy and Gewar.
No right to our opinions, not to talk of decisions. We have been in abysmal darkness for so many years, abandoned and neglected by so-called society and the custom we believe in. We worked and reaped no benefit. My only blood brother was killed. Strangers who came, we are killed. Have you forgotten how others were buried alive? Burnt us away and means of appeasing their God. Therefore, it's not the red God you and I supposed to worship.
When a child fails to respect an elder, he will not know the sweetness of a food. And because of...
Has been on the internet, TikTok to the specific, crying and begging to the public to raise the money for his surgery.
يا رحيم يا مالك يا قدوس يا سلام يا مؤمن يا مهيمن يا عزيز يا جبار يا.
According to him, he said, ever since he started asking for help from people, he has only raised 22,500 yuans from colleagues, filmmakers, and other humanitarians home and abroad.
And also the TikTok, the big people then they ask people then for help. The people they send, they send. Some man will send 500, some man will send 1 million, some man will send 300, you know. So but I get that all the money, all we don't get away at the big people then. We are the big people that are close to 22,500,000.
Many filmmakers have been showing concerns, throwing help, organizing fundraising campaigns. Among them was one of Sierra Leone's finest actress, Augusta Dora Toka, who called on all Sierra Leoneans to join in the fight to save a brother's life.
Attention this time, because like they say, if you do an operation, weight costs about 300 million, not in other way small. I like 1,000 B, 2,000, 5,000, whatever anybody gets. Put us together, Lord, we save a life. He's a brother, he's an entertainer.
The life of our dear brother, Kekura S. Fofana, is really at stake. And on behalf of the SLBC's entertainment decks, we join in the calling for more help for him. Mind you, the more he sleeps, the worse it becomes. Kekura S. Fofana, we wish you have the help you need. Well, that's all we have in this edition of Entertainment News. And I've been your presenter, Abdul Mansari. Bye-bye.
And now for our final segment, let's join our sports desk for some latest updates.
Football is like school and will continue to remain a school for life. That is according to the former president of the world governing body, FIFA, Sepp Blatter. And in today's edition, we talk all things football. The New Englandville community has officially unveiled their supporters and players' jersey as a way to boost their campaign in the 2025 Portuguese Town Amateur Football Association League. Here is the update. In an exciting event held at the Sierra Leone Scouts Association Auditorium, the club officially unveiled their brand new supporters and players jersey, setting the stage for what they hope will be a triumphant campaign. The kit's launch comes out on the heels of a winning start for New England in the Potafa Intercommunity League. They secured an impressive 4-2 victory over Farm Football Club of Duazak in their opening match, immediately signaling their intent for the season. Team manager Richmond Goba emphasized the crucial role of the community support in achieving success in the league. Addressing the attendees at the unveiling, he called upon the community to rally behind the team and confidently predicted another victory in the upcoming match against St. John FC on Wednesday.
This particular moment is a moment the community people have been waiting for, and we are here to make sure that the people feel and get the exact energy that is required in football. That is why we're here.
August 6, 2025. Adding to the wave of optimism, Coach JJ Barr expressed immense confidence in his squad. With the talented crop of players at his disposal, he assured everyone present of their ambition to win the 9th edition of the Potafa League. The unveiling event was a true community affair, with members and stakeholders gathered to showcase their unwavering support. Players and the technical team receive assurances of steadfast backing, highlighting the strong bond between the club and its dedicated fan base. With fresh new kits, a winning start, and a community united behind them, New England community looked poised for an exciting journey in the 2025 Potafa Inter-Community League. All eyes will be on Wednesday's match against St. John FC as they aim to continue their winning streak. And in the international scene, Manchester United and Everton played to a 2-all draw as a way to boost their fresh season. And in fact, United won the pre-season series trophy. Manchester United capped off their tour 2025 in Atlanta with a hard-fought 2-all draw against Everton, a result that saw them crowned champions of the Premier Super Series. The final match of the US tour was a fitting, entertaining finale, filled with attacking flair, late drama, and a glimpse into the team's promising future under manager Amorim. The Reds twice took the lead, first through a Bruno Fernandes penalty and later with a superb Mason Mount strike. However, Everton battled back on both occasions, with their players scoring a well-taken goal and a late own goal leading to a 2-all draw. While the draw prevented a perfect win record in the tournament, the overall performance in the States has left fans with plenty of reasons to be optimistic. New signings have shown clear brilliance and the team's attack has looked intense, bagging 8 goals across the 3 games. The draw in Atlanta secures the summer series title for United, a small but significant piece of silverware that will provide a nice moral booster as they head to the new season. Their attention now turns to their final preseason match at Old Trafford against Fiorentina before the real test begins with the Premier League curtain raiser against Arsenal. And that ends your update. Thank you so much for watching. Till I see you again, goodbye and enjoy the rest of your day.
Many thanks to our sports desk. Now to end the news, the main points again. The Wellington Palmer State Cemetery, one of the oldest and largest cemeteries in Freetown, is under threat as individuals continue to dig up graves in search of iron rods and other valuables buried with the dead. The ongoing desecration has sparked outrage among residents and community leaders who are calling for urgent intervention. Personnel from the excise unit under the Domestic Tax Department of the National Revenue Authority (NRA) are embarking on a nationwide monitoring on tax stamp called Products Tracing System. The monitoring exercise, which targets general merchandise, distributors of beverages and importers, was to ensure effective compliance on the tax stamp system. And presidential flag bearer aspirant for the All People's Congress, Slbc Tv, has said that one of his main focus, if he becomes the flag bearer and eventually emerge as president of the state, was to bring to the table the debt the United Kingdom owes Sierra Leone. He made this disclosure during a sit-and-talk meeting with the press. Well, that's how we wrap up this morning edition of News Hour from the SLBC. I am Esther Suzanette Bassi. Thanks for watching. Continue to stay glued.
Jesus, take me now. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all to Jesus. I surrender, Lord. I give myself to Thee. Fill me with Thy love and power. Let Thy blessing fall on me. I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. I all to Thee, my blessed Savior.